Hello, everybody. Megan Taslam, the Thyroid Naturopath, and not typically here on a Monday, but I wanted to jump on today and really embrace and talk about the thyroid restoration roadmap so that you can get a really clear picture and an understanding at how this may help you. So that's my goal today. And I also invite you to ask any questions along the way, and I'll certainly get back to you at the end of the live, and reach out to me if you'd like a little bit more detail, because here's the thing, like when I first developed this particular thyroid restoration roadmap, it was actually more akin to a program. When I what I mean by that is, I had kind of like, this is what everyone does at the beginning, and etc. etc. However, across the time, I would like to say that I've evolved it, as the whole situation has evolved, and really understanding that my motto, which is there's no one size fits all, and for me to really honor you to the very, very best capacity that I can, I had to tweak it even some more. So what I have done is really flipped the group component with more one-on-one. Okay, so there always was one-on-one, but I've kind of flipped it so that there's even more personalized one-on-one bespoke service, and a lot less group. Yeah. So and the reason for that is because we all require different levels of support in different capacities in different ways. So for me to honor you at the very, very best capacity, I had to kind of flip it and tweak it even more, right? However, it is a high level of service. Essentially, we are working together from the moment you come into my world until you get the results, essentially, right? So that's the objective, and that's the idea, and that's really the way forward, because I want for you what I have for myself in terms of my Hashimoto's remission and thyroid wellness. So that's the goal. And the way I used to practice with naturopathy, it was very, very general. And whilst I still practice in that manner, like if a lot of people come in with digestive issues thinking they may have a thyroid condition, and essentially they don't have a thyroid condition, or it's quite stable, and but we look at what else is going on for you. So we look at the whole picture anyway, because the thyroid doesn't operate in isolation of everything else that's going on, okay, for you. So we look at your digestive health, we look at your hormonal balance, we look at your mindset, we look at your mood and your emotions, and all levels actually. And that's what I really call the 4 pillars to thyroid wellness. So you may have grabbed a copy of my ebook, The First Pillar to Thyroid Wellness. If you haven't, feel free to jump on my website and scroll down the bottom, and you can type in your name and email, and you'll get a copy of that. So essentially that is really an encapsulation of what I call the first pillar to thyroid wellness, which is really working in the physical realm. Okay, so what I mean by that is, for you, we drill down and we figure out what's going on for you. First of all, what are your signs and symptoms? What are your neighboring conditions? What is your health history? What have you done that's actually made your condition better? And what have you done that has actually exacerbated it or made it worse? Or are there any areas that are a little bit of a mystery and you're really unsure? I mean, if you listen to the live on Friday where I had the beautiful Emma and I was interviewing Emma, we were working in this, the physical realm for quite some time. We were certainly making progress and headway with some of Emma's signs and symptoms, but we didn't quite land what the actual root cause was until quite a few months after we'd started working together, because it was, I mean, the obvious, we need to look at the obvious first. So what I call the low-hanging fruit. So if the digestive system's out of whack, we look at that. If sleep is out of whack, we look at that. If there is some stress management that requires some help and, to help you with your stress response, we look at that, because there are so many tools within naturopathy, which each and every one of us have available to us for free, by the way, if we're willing to uncover those layers and make the necessary changes. Yeah. So we look at that first. And only then, when we don't notice the significant shifts, that's where I'll often, for example, in Emma's case, think, okay, something is amiss. Let's dig down into another layer. Let's potentially take a left turn or a right turn and go down a completely different line of thinking to see what's going on. And that's what we did with Emma, and now that she's living a beautiful, health, abundant life. All right. So this is a classic example of where there isn't a one size fits all. So for me to have really uncovered and received the information from Emma, it was all about working in that close proximity for me to really pick up all of those other little health issues that are coming through for Emma and those different types of signs and symptoms. So that's where working within close proximity one-on-one is incredibly important. And as I was mentioning in the beginning, the way I used to treat was, we'd have an appointment and then there might be a couple of weeks or several weeks, and then we'd have another appointment. And of course, yes, we'd get results, but it would just take longer. It would take longer. So this way, essentially, we can take months, years off the results. Because if anyone has a thyroid condition that's in this group, or knows of someone who has a thyroid condition, it can really be something that's debilitating and with you for decades. So, ideally what we want to do is we want to reverse that health picture and get you on the road to recovery and restore the health and wellness of your thyroid much sooner. So that's the whole idea. So that being said, not everybody is willing to jump in and work in that close proximity. So this is why the Thyroid Restoration Roadmap is your roadmap. So we connect over a call and discuss what is going to work for you, because I can't want for you I can't want amazing health abundance for you more than you want it for yourself. And we all go at different pace. We all go at a different pace. Yeah. I mean, and essentially there is no measure of healing. Like there is no, the pace of healing is very unique to every individual. So for some people, the shifts will occur really quickly. And for other people, it will take longer. And it might take, like a little bit of a milk run, and I believe that is because something else needs to lift and be uncovered, because there are the 4 pillars to thyroid wellness. So it's not just the physical. We need to allow the other areas to catch up, essentially, because as a human, one organism, everything feeds into something else. We've got the physical manifestations, which often come from emotional issues, or, mental mindset, or the energetics. All of these layers are encapsulated to create our whole health and wellness. And if we're not focusing some attention, at least a little attention, onto all of those layers, sometimes what I find is one area you'll be held back until you're willing to look and uncover what else is going on for you. So as a naturopath and a health advocate and a facilitator for holistic health and wellness, my job and role is to see and pick up the little areas that you may not be seeing because you're in your own health bubble, and bring that to the fore so that we can have a look at that and essentially create healing in all of those areas as well. So, I mean, so from that, you could then argue, well, actually, those 4 pillars really lead into all areas. I'm just going to get rid of, I've got something that's going on. Those little pop-up things that come on. Those all areas of health and wellness, which is actually true. So someone with a thyroid tendency, a dis-ease or issue will manifest there. But for someone else, it may be type 2 diabetes, or it might be some other metabolic disorder. It might be adrenal fatigue, or it might be another type of autoimmune condition. So whilst we're working on these 4 areas, we're actually working on preventing you from, we are preventing the manifestation of a disease in another area of the body, whether it's at the level of the skin, whether it's focused in the digestive system, whether it's for your reproductive health, whether it's for your mental health, in terms of depression or anxiety. So we're really covering that whole area, and we're shining the light on thyroid wellness. But if we only look at thyroid wellness, like if I was to say to you, okay, well, your T3 is low, so conversion of T4 to T3 is really where it's at. So what we need to do is we need to look at your selenium, we need to look at your zinc, we need to look at your magnesium, and ensure that you've got enough iodine coming through your diet, and that's where we're going to focus as a treatment plan. Well, to me, that is quite limited. There is so much more we can do, because whilst we may be doing that to help your symptom picture for a period of time, my true belief is that things won't resolve and you won't gain that resolution to your thyroid wellness and your whole health and wellness unless we embrace and fortify the pillars for thyroid wellness, those strong foundational pillars. So let me just dive into the physical layer a little bit more. There's all of our physical symptoms, right, which lead us to an area of imbalance or, a lack of homeostasis there. Something that may be biochemical, or it could be because of our diet, it could be because of our sleep, it may be because of our exercise, that we're not really listening to our heart and we're pushing too hard because we're following this is just one example, we're following a regimented regime as opposed to actually listening to our body. As I mentioned, sleep, environmental toxins, biotoxins, environmental health, and all of those areas which I call the physical layer. So that is one strong pillar that we need to fortify. However, it is only one strong pillar, and it's certainly the area that we start. So my Clarity Through Investigation, which is a 3-month container, it used to be 6 weeks. I've extended it, I've doubled it. It's now 3 months, is really working. I mean, look, we don't ignore any layers ever. Something pops up, of course, we go there. However, we look at the physical realm within those first 3 months. And wherever there's a question mark, that's where I'll invite you to do some functional testing. And for some people, it'll be quite a lot of deep functional testing. For other people, you may not need it. So we'll adjust the roadmap to suit your requirements, right? Like if we get the clear picture and we just know that it's actually at the level of motivation, accountability, and support, and potentially, like, I don't know, understanding more about food and education and knowing how to create an amazing meal that's going to serve you. If that's the support that you need, well, then we don't need to do the functional testing. So I do go on about the functional testing. I love doing that work for those that need it. So our first appointment together is crucial in that it will really allow us to focus on the area that we need to focus on. So that's my invitation to you. If you're really wanting to understand what the thyroid restoration roadmap will look like for your individual health picture, I invite you to book a call. First, a 10-minute call, and then, if you're really serious about it and it looks like it's, something that will go ahead, yes, absolutely, we'll do a deep 45-minute Heal With Me discovery call so that I can get a really good understanding of your health picture so that I can actually map it out. And, okay, this is what I recommend. For example, if you've got gut issues, let's look at, healing that first 6 to 12 weeks, then let's look at doing this, then let's look at doing that, and we'll break it down step by step, because otherwise it can just be completely overwhelming for you and for your body. So we need to break it down. Yeah. So for those, you will have known that I've had a couple of clients that have finished up in the last couple of months, and they worked with me for 12 months, 12 plus months. And for those people, again, it just depends on what you're requiring, what level of service you're requiring. For some people, they continue for accountability and support. For other people, they continue for that high level support and another deep layer of functional testing. Okay, so it is not just one package for everybody. It's really about what you need, what's going to get you from A to B in the quickest possible way, and also what's within your budget. Yeah. And what are you, for some people are actually really highly motivated and really well versed in X, Y, and Z. However, they actually need the support with the further diagnosis and functional testing, and just, there might be some stones that haven't been turned, that haven't been uncovered. And for other people, it's, just fine tuning. So that would be more of just a lower level of service, because the deeper level isn't required. Yeah. And then along the whole way, I do have a curriculum. It's optional. Not everybody likes to go in and do a curriculum, but essentially that is where I have written and created a lot of videos and content for which really encapsulate, strong foundations for you to have a look at what actually is going to be great for you. Yeah. So for some people with a thyroid condition, weight loss is really, really important and required. Other people don't actually require weight loss. Yeah, it's very, very different. So that's where I have, and for some people, there are certain areas of their gut health that warrant a particular specialized diet for a period of time. So all of that information is available, and I just kind of point you in that direction. Yeah, just so I'm not reinventing the wheel every single time. So that then our time together, we can really focus on pinpointing and creating the tailored level of support that you actually need for you at that time, which could be mentor, a bit of mentoring, or it could be actual coaching. It could be to really, really delve into some mindset issues or emotional layers that might be blocking you from moving forward. And it's really about me identifying that, bringing it to the surface for you to then decide whether you'd like to explore that area. So if you'd like to grasp a little bit more information, of course, it's all laid out on my website. That being said, that is a broad framework. Essentially, we tailor it to you. So if that's something that you're if you're beating around the bush and you might have gone down the biomedical road, you might be on some thyroid medication, and even despite being on the medication, you're just really not getting ahead with your health. There may even be some other issues. There might be some insulin resistance or some stress. There might be some, adrenal fatigue. There might be some depression. There might be some brain fog. There might be any number of other issues going on or other health concerns. I invite you to book a call with me. Let's just get in touch. Just type chat, and it's completely obligation free. It's completely obligation free. Like, I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to present how I can help you if we feel together mutually that it's a good fit. Otherwise, there are plenty of other ways that you can actually help yourself. If you're actually just looking at getting a little snippet of what I do, jump into one of my cooking immersion workshops, or jump into a 7-day sugar challenge. It's something that I'm getting organized at the moment. You'll find out the details soon, because the 7-day sugar detox challenge is actually one tiny little element, like a little drop in the ocean of my thyroid restoration roadmap. Because if you've got a sugar addiction, or if you're having the processed foods, or you're having foods that are actually causing inflammation in the body, that's of course in the physical realm, but that we need to address that, because there's no point on working on all these other levels if you've got a little sneaky sugar addiction in the background, or you're just having too many of those types of foods that are actually hindering your progress. So I invite you to do that. There's also my 3-week Confidently Clear detox. I will most likely be putting that out to the public in the new year, because who doesn't like a detox at the beginning of the new year to really get themselves going for the year? So these are little elements that I've worked with clients for decades, and it's something that, when you come into my world within the thyroid restoration roadmap, of course, we don't just look at the thyroid and don't look at all of these other really, really crucial elements that are really, really important for your whole health and wellness. So if you've got any questions, just type them in here. If you'd like to have a chat, just type chat or just get in touch. There's plenty of ways to contact me via email, phone. You can type chat in the messenger box and I will reach out to you and we can get an appointment organised. And you may have seen as well, I have a special on, for want of a better word, I don't know why I use the word special. It is a special, a discount plus an extra month on at the moment, which is valid until the 30th of November. So if you're ready to get started, or you're ready to get started in January 2024, I invite you to have a chat. Let's just discuss what would work for you, and that will be valid for you as long as there's a deposit before the 30th of November. So get in touch and let's move your thyroid to the wellness that that is required for you to actually live your health in abundance and live your best life. That's it from me. Bye for now.